一位青年一直找不到合适的工作，穷困潦倒。这天，他来找父亲的一位旧日好友，希望他能帮自己找份谋生的差事。你数学怎么样？精通吗？父亲的朋友问。青年很难堪地摇摇头。历史怎么样？对方又问道。青年依旧不好意思地摇了摇头。法律呢？法律你懂不懂？对方口气中的希望依旧不减。青年的回答还是否定的。接连七八个懂不懂之类的问题，回答都是否定的。那你说说自己有什么优点吧。哪知青年依旧摇摇头，很腼腆的回答，我没什么优点哦。父亲的朋友轻轻叹了一口气，那你就先把自己的住址写下来吧。青年写了自己的地址，把纸条交给对方。那位老人惊喜地拉住青年道，哎呀，你还说自己没什么优点，你的字写得很漂亮吗？这也算优点。青年的眼中闪过一丝疑问，你不应该只满足于找一份简单的工作。父亲的朋友语重心长地说，你能把字写得这么漂亮，那你就能把文章写得漂亮。你如果能把文章写得漂亮，你就能写书。如果你能写书，你就能。顺着老人的指点，青年的思路扩展了，一点点放大了自己的优点。多年之后，这位一无所长的青年果然由字到文章，写出了享誉世界的经典作品。他就是家喻户晓的法国大作家大仲马。大道理，成功人生的诀窍在于发现并且不断放大自身的优点，因为只有经营自己的长处，人生才可能增值，反之则只会贬值。
Alexander Dumas finds a job. A young man was struggling to find a suitable job and had fallen into poverty. One day, he decided to seek help from an old friend of his father's, hoping that the man could help him secure a job to make a living. How are your math skills? Are you proficient? Asked his father's friend. The young man shook his head with embarrassment. What about history? The man continued. Once again, the young man shook his head, feeling ashamed. Do you know anything about the law? The friend's tone still held a trace of hope, but the young man's answer was once again negative. The man asked 6 or 7 more questions, all starting with, do you know? Each time, the answer was no. Well then, tell me about your strengths, said the man. To his surprise, the young man lowered his head, embarrassed, and replied, I don't have any strengths. Oh, the older man sighed softly. Well, just write down your address for me. The young man wrote down his address and handed the note to the man. As soon as the man saw it, his eyes lit up. Grabbing the young man's hand, he exclaimed, Ah, you say you have no strengths, but look at how beautiful your handwriting is. Is that really considered a strength? A flicker of doubt flashed in the young man's eyes. Of course it is, the man said earnestly. You shouldn't settle for just any simple job. If you can write so beautifully, you can also write good articles. If you can write good articles, you can write books. And if you can write books, you can. Guided by the old man's advice, the young man's thoughts began to expand. He slowly realized that his small strength had the potential to grow into something much greater. Years later, this young man, who once believed he had no talents, advanced from handwriting to articles and ultimately to writing world-renowned literary classics. That young man was none other than the famous French novelist Alexander Dumas. Moral of the story: the key to a successful life lies in discovering and continuously amplifying your strengths. By honing and developing your unique abilities, you increase your life's value. On the contrary, focusing solely on weaknesses leads only to self-devaluation.